Thanks for joining Pilates Yoga. Let's start by setting our posture. Feet underneath your hips, lift up tall through those legs, engage those inner thighs, lift the rib cage up off the waist, make a lot of room to engage your core here. We're keeping a nice gentle curve in our spine here, so we're not exaggerating the booty, but we're not tucking either. Just keeping the gentle curve there. Roll the shoulder blades down the back. Lift your chin, feel the back of your head over the back of your spine. Really balance your head right on top of the spinal column. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale up. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Let's come down to the mat, and you'll just want to feel that movement of your body. Oops, I could actually get my mat. The movement of your body moving with your breath, like the way we were raising our arms to kind of get in touch with the tidal rhythm of your breathing and use your diaphragm to move through our Pilates and yoga today. So on the mat, feet are flat on the mat, palms are flat on the mat. Tuck your shoulder blades under to open your chest. Press the belly button down to the spine, but the spine is still at the gentle curve, not pressed down into the mat. We're just going to do a single leg fold. So head and shoulders stay on the mat. Lift one leg at a time. Feel the lift happening through your core. So it's pretty easy to just kind of lift your leg up and set it down. But if you're deliberately tightening that core, pressing the lower abs down into the spine, you'll feel that engagement. You'll feel the work coming from your core and not just casually lifting your leg in the air. Exhale on the fold. If you'd like to come to level 2, let's lift that head and shoulders up off the mat. This might help us get the knee a little bit closer to the chest. Still working with your breath. Nice. And if you want to bring it to level 3, we're going to extend one leg, hover it, bring the other leg in, hover. So our legs are staying off the ground, head and shoulders staying off the ground. Nice, slow, deliberate movement. Pressing the belly button down to the spine. Your spine will now be flat against the mat. Bring it in. And now let's stay here on the right. We're going to pull like a little upper body crunch here for 8, 7, 6, 5. That left leg is still hovering. 3, 2, and 1. Other side. Hold on to that leg. Get ready for your crunch. Crunch, crunch. So try to bring this crunch 7, 6 from your core rather than by pulling your arms. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug those knees. Rock side to side. Cross your legs. Let's roll over into a kneeling position. We're going to do a kneeling spinal contraction here. So your knees are about hip distance apart. You can have the tops of your feet on the floor for a little more challenge. You can tuck your toes for a little more stability. We're going to inhale, little back bend, very little. We're not exaggerated, but we're going to inhale and then exhale. Press all that air out. Inhale. Exhale with that big contraction. Inhale, open. Exhale, contraction. Inhale. And that contraction, you're leading here with your lower core, and the rest of your body will follow. And in. Nice. 4, 3, 2. Beautiful. Last one. Coming back to center. Let's come back down to the mat. We're going to do scissors. It's very similar to our single leg stretch that we started our warm up with, but our legs are extended. Head and shoulders up off the mat, reaching for that calf or that ankle, or if you're super flexible, the toes. Again, a nice big exhale when that leg is right at the apex there. Pressing the belly button down to the spine. Using that anchor with the floor of your lower spine to press the head and shoulders up higher, to keep that leg hovered above the mat. Nice. A little bit of stretching here, a little bit of dynamic stretching, as well as our core work, which is always a nice thing to do. Nice. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's stay here. And like we did with our fold, we're going to do that little pulsing crunch for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Other side for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug the knees, rock side to side. Sitting up, we're going to do some oblique work now. Let's get some targeting on the sides of the abs. We're going to come into a modified boat pose. Hands are supporting you. Fingertips pointing towards your toes. Hands are right behind those glutes. Tall through the shoulders, open through the chest. So we're not collapsing down here. Tall through the shoulders. We're going to start with our feet together on the mat. And we're going to drop those knees from one side to the other. Nice. So this is pretty simple, but you should still be feeling your core engagement. If you want to move it up a level, bring those feet in the air, drop the knees side to side. So your hip will lift off the mat. Here, the twist here is from the waist, not from the hips. So trying to keep your shoulders square in front of you while twisting at the waist to drop those knees. Beautiful, love it. Such good hard work. Keep it up. Strong through that chest, not collapsing through the shoulders. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sit up, shake it out. We're going to make things a little harder, of course. We are going to sit up here again in this supported plank, but we are going to twist, open, or extend the legs, bend them, bring to the center. Twist, extend the leg, bend, bring to the center. Twist, extend, bend, center. So we're staying a nice long amount of time here over in the side position. Gives us lots of time to check out the position of those shoulders and chest. Make sure we're keeping those square to the front, and all the work is coming from our obliques in that twist. Extend and center, extend and center. Nice. Extend and center, drop, extend and center. 2 more sets. Other side. Other side. Last one. Drop those feet, rock the knees side to side. Beautiful job on that one. Let's come up into some standing work. So we are going to come into our ballet first position or Pilates B. Heels are together, toes are pointing out. You can have your hands on your hips or arms out, whatever gives you more stability. We are going to rise up onto our toes, bend those knees into a plie, rise up, heels back down. So in this plie, we are letting those knees go straight over the toes. This is some nice balance work and strength work. Your core is what is keeping you upright. So if you let go of that core, you may find yourself bending at the waist into a little bow, wobbling a little more. You should feel that nice core engagement happening throughout. Plie. And down, nice. 4. Nice and slow, deliberate movement. 3. 2. And 1. Rise back up. Walk your heels together. I think hands on hips now. And we're just going to come down here and pulse. Just doing some work, keeping those knees open, engaging all the way up to the hip to rotate those legs in that hip socket. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels down, standing up. Coming back down to the mat for some side work. We're going to lie on our side. You can use your arm as a pillow or you can prop your head up in your arms. Right now, both the tops of both feet are facing in front of you. We're going to take that top leg, rotate it in the hip socket. So we just did that hip socket rotation in that plie. We're going to rotate it, lift, bend, and down. Lift, bend, and down. So our hips are, oh, I did that wrong, are straight up and down, bend, and down. Facing toward the front of the room, trying to point those top toes up to the ceiling. Lift, bend, and down. With that lift, we're engaging the obliques like we were with that modified boat twist. So you should feel them shortening to lift that leg up into the air. And twist, lift, beautiful. 4, 3, 2. Last one like this. Unrotate the hips. So both legs are facing straight forward. We're going to do the same thing to the front. This is going to be a lot harder. So open that leg, bend, extend, open to the front and extend. So while you're doing this, your core is working like crazy to keep those hips straight up and down. Reach front, bend, extend, reach front, bend, extend. Lots of work happening here. If you're losing your balance, you can put your hand on the mat in front of you. Or if you need a little more challenge, you can have your hand on your hip. If you need a lot more challenge, you can lift that hand to the sky so you have nothing anchoring that top hip, and you're just working your core to maintain your straight position. 4, 3, 2, last one, and done. Nice. Let's come over to the other side. Again, you can have your arm down or head propped up. You can have this top hand on the mat or on your hip. Rotate this top leg up, bend the knee, extend. Keeping those hips in position. Nice range of motion, really good. Feeling the core engage, especially if you have your hand up here. It's so interesting to feel those muscles moving underneath the skin. You can tell that you're working your core. 4, 3, 2, last one. Okay, setting yourself up for that front extension. You can start with whatever hand position works for you. Again, feel those muscles working. As you bring that leg all the way to the front, you're really changing your center of gravity, and your core is working against that. If you want the extra challenge, lift that top hand into the air so that you don't have anything to anchor your hips. Great job, you guys. Just a few more. For 4, 3, 2, last one, and done. Over, push back into a child's pose. Big toes together, knees apart. Pressing those hands forward on the mat, fingers spread. Getting a little bit of a stretch here for the hips. A little rest for that core. Slowly rock yourself back up to the center. We are going to start our back work with a reverse plank. So I have to have my feet off the mat for this, or I'll just pull the mat up with me. So set those feet. So level 1 is a tabletop position, feet flat on the mat, lifting up from below, pressing with those glutes from below and lifting with the belly button. The next level is legs extended. So you've got your feet, your legs straight, feet on the mat, lift up into this reverse plank, lifting through the chest and shoulders, not collapsing there. Let the head look up at the ceiling so that you're in a nice alignment. You can let the head drop as we do for yoga, or you can keep it in line. Pushing up from below with those glutes, lifting with the belly button. Strong triceps for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Great. That one is always an awesome challenge. Let's keep our back work going with some Superman or Superwoman's, depending on your preference. So we're going to start with those arms extended, chin on the mat. Let's lift our right arm and our left leg. We've got our head down. The mat is supporting the weight of our head. So we can try to get those really high up. 8, 7, 6, 5. Feel your hips even, both of them on the mat. 3, 2, 1. Let's switch to the other side right now. Feel your hips parallel to the floor, both hip bones seeking to make contact with the mat. Keep them there as we lift the other arm and other leg. Leg is straight, toe is pointed, hand is reaching in front of you for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. We're going to do both sides again. This time we're going to lift the head up off the mat. So basically just the hand of that front arm, of that relaxed arm is on the mat, trying to lift the rest of the hand up off the mat. Lifting, lifting tall. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. Both hips in contact with the mat. Resting arm is strong and engaged for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Windshield wiper your legs to get some tension out of your lower back before we come into the full expression here. Extend your legs, extend your arms, reach with those fingers, reach with those toes. Lift, lift, lift. Up off the mat, 2 counts of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Head is in line with the spine. 7, 8. Now 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push back to child's pose again. Good stretch in the lower back. You can wiggle your hips side to side. Nice static strength hold there. Good job. All right, let's come over onto our back to finish our Pilates series with our Pilates 100s. So we're got both shoulders on the mat right now, both hips, feel them even on the mat. You can have knees bent at 90 degrees, legs extended, legs open in a Pilates V. Now we're going to roll. So press with the lower core to lift that head and shoulders up off the mat. Staying lifted, we're going to beat the air. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. Hug the knees, rock side to side, take a little break before we transition to our yoga portion. Let's do a few rolling like a ball to get there. So hugging your knees, keeping them together. Roll up, catch your balance, roll down. Feel this nice little spinal massage. Enjoy the playfulness. And on your next roll, you're gonna roll all the way over, coming up to standing. Beautiful. Great job. Let's Start with a sun salutation. Feet are planted, hip distance apart, setting our mountain pose, our Tadasana here, rolling the shoulder blades back, palms to the front. Again, lift that chin, feel the back of the head over the back of the spine. Eyes closed, 2 deep breaths here, starting our Ujjayi Yoga breathing. Open the eyes, inhale the arms up. Exhale to a fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. And then we're going to slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time, bringing the head last. Let's do that again. This time we're going to hold that forward fold. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Stay down here in this fold. You can grasp your elbows for a ragdoll. You can grab a yoga toe hold. You can tuck your hands under your feet for a gorilla pose. Whatever expression you choose, trying to straighten the legs so that you get a good stretch along the back of the leg and that hamstring and the calf. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. And let's roll back up again, one vertebra at a time. Head last, dropping the shoulder blades behind. This time we're going to go into our warrior series. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, palms to the mat. Step or jump back into your plank. We didn't really do a forward plank, so let's hold this for 5 breaths. You can drop to your knees. You can come to your elbows if your shoulders are bothering you. But let's have a nice hold here. One more big inhale. On the exhale, hug the elbows to the ribs. You can drop the knees down or stay up on your toes. Come into hover over the mat. Push up to up dog and push back to our first down dog. Roll through your shoulders to drop your head even further between your arms. Try to let your heels float down to the mat. We did a little bit of calf work with those standing pliés, so they'll appreciate the stretch. Let's inhale that right leg up. Exhale, step it between the palms. Turn the back foot down to the mat. Rise up to our warrior one. Hips are square to the front of the room. Shoulders dropped away from the ears. Inhale, palms to heart center. Exhale, open into a warrior two. Hips are now parallel to the wall. Reaching those fingertips forward, gaze over the front fingertips. Shoulders and hips parallel. Flip that front hand, palm to the sky, and exhale to reverse your warrior. Reaching up to the sky. And now exhale to extended side angle, tucking that elbow into that front knee, bending that front knee. Bottom hand is strong, facing up to the sky. Top hand reaching. And we're just going to go from peaceful warrior to extended side angle a few times. Rotate back up to your peaceful warrior on an inhale. Exhale, back to extended side angle. Inhale, rotate up. Exhale to extended side angle. Inhale up. Exhale, side angle. You should feel this work happening in your core. We already worked those obliques a ton. They are warm. They know what's happening here. Inhale up. Exhale, reach. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, reach. Palms to the mat. Step that foot back into your plank. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. You can pedal your feet, alternate stretching each side, and then straighten your knees, drop the head down, roll through the shoulders. Inhale that left foot up. Exhale, step it between the hands, turn the right foot down to the mat. Pressing the outside edge of that right foot down. And our warrior one here on our exhales, trying to float closer to the mat. Inhale, palms to heart center. Exhale to warrior two. Strong front knee, knee not collapsing. Gaze over those front fingertips. Rotate that front palm up to the sky. Exhale to reverse your warrior. Reaching up, up, up. Gaze up at that top hand. And now, bring yourself to your extended side angle. Bottom hand is strong, facing up to the sky. Top arm reaching. Let's feel this pose for another breath. And then we'll come through peaceful warrior and extended side angle. Inhale up. Exhale, reach. Inhale up. Exhale, reach. Inhale up. Exhale, reach. Inhale up. Exhale, reach. Last time. Inhale up. Exhale, reach. Palms to the mat. Step that left foot back into the plank. Big inhale. Slow exhale, chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Nice. Take a little rest here. You can drop down to child's pose if you'd like. And if you're in child's pose, please rejoin. Down dog, look between your hands, step or jump. Your feet up to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly roll up. One vertebra at a time. Head last. Roll the shoulder blades back. Let's work on a balance pose. So we're going to start with hands on hips. Lift up all of the toes on that right foot. Set them down one at a time. Feel all of the points of the contact with the floor. And we are just going to lift that left leg in the air in front of us. Trying to keep the hips even, not hiking up toward that extended left leg. Tall spine, head straight up to the sky. And now you can rotate to the other side. If you have the bind, you can reach for that toe. Otherwise, you can just extend the opposite arm for a counterbalance. Hands back to hips one more time to the front. Just 2 more breaths. And foot down. Circle the ankle of that standing leg. That was a nice long balance. You don't necessarily notice how long it is when we're moving through. So lift up those left toes, set them down. Feel your left foot in contact with the floor. Spinal column aligned. Exhale that right leg into the air this time. Feel your hips nice and square. Open to the right side. If you have the bind, grab your toes. Otherwise, you can just extend this arm as a counterbalance. Using it as a lever so that you're one straight line from your heel to the top of your head. Hand back to waist. Bring that right foot back in front. 2 more breaths. And set it down. Great job. Good balance. Let's do some crescent lunge here. So why don't we do humble warrior to crescent lunge? So for humble warrior, our feet are about 12 inches apart in distance, hip distance and width. Catch your elbows behind you, or you can bring your hands into prayer behind you. Big inhale, tiny back bend. Exhale to a fold. Let the head drop. Trying to just let go of all your muscles. Relaxation. Big stretch. Keeping your hips square, so almost feel like you're pushing that front hip back behind you to keep the hips rotated. Now bring your fingertips to the mat. Step that back leg out further. Feet are staying hip width apart. Rise up into your crescent lunge. Great job. Trying to float down toward the mat. Leg behind you is straight. That heel is pushing behind you. Feel those feet pulling away from each other. Bring your arms behind you again. Step that foot forward. One more time, humble warrior. And slowly roll yourself up. Switch feet. Switch what arm is on top. If you've got your arms folded behind you, tiny back bend, lift up and over on the inhale, and then a big exhale into that bow, into that humble bow, dropping the head all the way down toward the mat. Rotating that front hip toward the back to maintain a square hip. You should feel a great big stretch behind the leg and the hamstring of that front leg. Bring the fingertips to the mat, step that back leg back even further, and rise up into your crescent lunge. Shoulders away from ears, pushing back with that back heel, head and shoulders straight up to the sky. Resting here, feeling that great stretch on the hip flexor of the back leg. Arms back behind you. Step that back foot forward back into your humble warrior position. Folding forward again. Just a little more stretch here. Palms back to the mat. Step back into a plank. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Coming all the way through your arms to lay down on the mat. We're gonna do a quick shoulder stand series. And then we'll come into our savasana. So for restorative shoulder stand, you can just have your upper body resting on the mat, palms face down, lift those legs up into the air, 90 degrees. For a nice restorative shoulder stand, you can bend the knees if you need even more restoration. If you want to come into the full shoulder stand, tuck your shoulder blades underneath you, rock those hips up into the air, catch your lower back with your hands, and now straighten your legs so that they're lifting straight up to the sky. It's easier when they're piked over your head because that gives you a more rounded center of balance. The further upright your legs are, the more challenging it is for your core. You can open your legs in a V. You can rotate them through. Or you can just stay resting in the shoulder stand. Now flex the feet, bring the toes behind you. If they can drop onto the floor behind you, then you can extend your arms in our plow here. And now bend the knees, bring them to your forehead. Extend your arms if they're not already, plant those palms on the mat, using them as leverage. Slowly, slowly, slowly roll back into this restorative position and slowly lower your legs back down to the mat. One last little bit of work here. And once you're down here, get ready to rest. Tuck your shoulder blades under to open up your chest, palms up to the sky. Feet a comfortable distance apart and comfortably open. Close your eyes, push your shoulders away from your ears. Open up your teeth to make room for your jaw to wiggle and let go of any tension you're holding there. Start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, rotate your wrists, rotate your ankles. Keeping your eyes closed, roll over onto your side, tucking your knees and toes in a fetal position. Feel the earth supporting you. No muscle tension here. And now push up to a seated position. Palms face up on your knees, lifting the head and shoulders up to the sky. And now drop the chin to the chest. Spine is still tall and straight. Getting a nice stretch for your neck there. Roll your left ear to your left shoulder, pushing the right shoulder down. Drop your head behind you. Get a nice stretch along the throat. And now right shoulder to right ear. Pressing that left shoulder down. Center the head. Inhale, palms to heart center. Exhale them to the center of your forehead. And if you'd like, you can join me in a bow. Namaste. Thanks for joining today. Hopefully this relaxed you for the rest of your busy